Hello, everyone. Is everyone ready to rock their senses? You're going to smell the sweet aromas of heaven in a cup. You're about to have a party in your mouth as you taste the boldness and smoothness of a perfectly brewed cup of coffee. As actor Jackie Chan once said, coffee is a language in itself. I personally have been drinking coffee since I was about 12 years old. It all started with a few sips from my grandpa. Through my teen years, um, visited many coffee shops, and I've had some memorable conversations with both friends and family. Some of the best conversations in my life have happened with my wife, with coffee in our hands. Have I experimented and modified my taste as I've grown into an adult? And for myself, coffee is not just a cup of joe. It is more of a passion and a story. So, today I will introduce you to making a proper cup of coffee using a French press. This is probably the second most easiest way to make a cup of coffee other than just a regular drip coffee maker. It's very simple to modify to your liking, and I will explain that in more detail later in this video. So let's get started. We will need um, basically your French press. We will need coffee mugs for the finished product. We will need a good quality coffee. I am using a Starbucks brand. It is their anniversary brand, which is a dark blended coffee. Um, Other than that, you will need simple measuring spoon. This is a tablespoon. And I just have an enormous jar of sugar, which will not be in the entire thing. But if you want sugar, milk, or cream um, to satisfy your taste. So, biggest thing, make sure everything is clean. Your workspace, um, your mugs, the actual press itself. Start with everything fresh and clean. I currently started boiling some water. Make sure you start with fresh, clean water in your kettle. That's key. A big part of this as well, your water quality may overall affect the taste of your coffee um, based on the minerals and um, stuff like that that you have in your water. It could be hard water, it could be soft water. That all goes into effect with the coffee oils and the coffee itself. So once we've boiled our water, or I should say once we begin boiling our water, what you want to do, and this is a huge step, you want to add hot water to your French press. Now, like I said, my water currently has stopped boiling. You want to give it a 2 to 3 minute wait time. That brings it down to the proper temperature because boiling water is, of course, 212. And you want to have a proper temperature between 185 to 195 degrees for actually making your coffee. Anything above that will actually make a lot of it too bitter. It will overcook your coffee essentially. So why are we doing this, you ask? Well, two main reasons. First reason is you want to acclimate your glass so you're not having a cold glass in a hot water or hot product and chances of cracking the glass. That's the first reason. The second reason is when this warm water actually you pour it out, your glass will stay warm for several minutes. Well, the best thing about that is not only is it acclimated, but it actually keeps your product hotter that way, both while brewing and while storing. So we've waited our 2 to 3 minutes, and now on to making. So we're going to dump out our water. And typically between 3 and 4 tablespoons. If you're using to fill this up entirely, depending on the roast of the coffee as well. I'm going to use 4 today. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I made a little mess here. Clean that up real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to go grab my hot water. And what we're going to do is just pour this in a little bit. A bit more. Okay, and then I'll take a spoon and gently stir this. Because of the glass, you don't want to actually, obviously, stir too hard and try to break it. So you just want to gently stir this. Make sure all your coffee's incorporated real well. Okay. I'm going to finish adding the water. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the lid part of this. This is the actual screen mechanism. And we are just going to put this on top, just like that. And then we let that sit. Typical time between 3 to 4 minutes. If you like a, I'll say smoother, possibly pick up some more of the lighter notes in it, you would do it about 3 minutes. If you like a really bold coffee, the big part with this is the longer you let it sit, the more bitter it's going to get. So yes, we let this sit between 3 and 4 minutes, and while that's sitting, what we do, just get our cups ready. For myself, if I'm drinking in the morning, I typically do use cream and sugar. Sometimes I use milk instead of cream, which I will be using today. And then if it is after dinner, because a lot of times I do like to have that coffee after dinner, it's straight black. So, like I mentioned a little earlier in the video, a big key to this, to get an acquired taste of how you like it, is the few reasons. Your water quality does play a role in this. Second to that, the actual type of coffee you have. There are numerous types, whether it's the different regions you have, the different roast, the levels of roast, and the grind of it as well. But the grind should definitely be medium coarse. This way, if you have a too fine, you're going to have sediment in the bottom of your cup when you pour your coffee. If you have too coarse and not a medium coarse, essentially you will not get a full roasted cup of coffee. It will not incorporate correctly. Okay. I better be able to edit this. Hello.
Hey. I left work at 2 o'clock.
Oh.
I was done. And I thought, well, if I sit here and wait, traffic will get worse. 23 was bad, of course. Build up of traffic.
Oh, man.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Ah.
Alright, you gotta finish your video?
I got this one. Yeah, you gotta get out of the kitchen.
Whatever. Okay. Will this be in the way, or you try not to get stuff in the way?
No, it's right here.
Huh?
It's right here. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. So it has been 4 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly plunge this down. And what this is going to do is take all the grinds to the bottom. And then we're going to pour a cup of coffee. Now I'm using 2 bigger cups. The reason being is recommended if you are only using 1 cup and you have your coffee sitting in this, it's going to continue to brew. So if you plan on just using 1 cup and then going back and refilling it, it's recommended to go and switch containers of some sort. That way it does not continue to brew. So there it is. Nice, delicious smelling cup of coffee. Personally, like I said, if it's me, I add just a little bit of sugar. And I think I'm just going to go with sugar right now. So this is actually fairly simple. Like I said, you can adjust to your liking based on coffee. The main part of it is coffee and brew time. That's the biggest part. And there again, for me, it's not just a cup of coffee. This is part of a story of my life. It started, like I said, when I was 12. It's evolved and it's become a passion for me. So I will also say, Johann Sebastian Bach once said, without my morning coffee, I'm just like a dried up piece of roast goat. Take that as you will. But let me ask you, are you ready to start your journey and create your own story, cup by cup?
I feel better.